Okay.
Ma'am, how about your journey from a Nobel Prize winner to somebody who's expert in energy and climate issues?
I began with energy modeling after I left theoretical physics, and I started working in energy in International Institute for Applied Systems Analysis in Austria, Vienna. But gradually, energy has all the other issues associated with it, which is technology, environment, climate change, jobs, and so on, many other issues. So we look at it comprehensively. And in 1992, when Rio Convention was negotiated, we had written a very well-known paper on consumption pattern, which pointed out that it is at that time they were thinking the population is rising, so CO2 is rising, but we said it is due to consumption pattern, and gradually there is a big difference, and still there are people who have no energy in our parts of the world even today after 25 years of 1992. Energy access, poverty and energy, these were also subjects which concerned my work. And then gradually, first paper I wrote in Nature, and then got involved in Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, second and third and so on. So there are every assessments taking place every 6 years. So I was associated with them, and that's how when the Nobel Prize was announced, there are several hundred people actually who got this certificate, which remain. We've been associated with many conference of parties, many climate change meetings, many types of issues, rural, urban mitigation, adaptation. These are all various aspects of it. Recently we did climate awareness project in 8 universities, where 800 students were brought into climate awareness project. So we continue to be engaged, and somehow even if you work through any other, we were working on urban development, and there also we found that climate change is going to be a serious threat when you look at Mumbai floods and Chennai floods and so on. Not all of that is due to climate change, much of it is also due to mismanagement and poor infrastructure, but it's aggravating what is already bad. So and so it comes into many development issues that we deal with.
What do you have to say about sustainable development of energy needs of India?
I think this path of going into more renewable energy and increasing its share is needed from many perspectives. Of course, people think it's climate change alone, but it's also about fossil fuel independence. It's also about air pollution. It's also about clean development and sustainable development. You may not know whether tomorrow oil price would be 100 or 50 or 150, but you know that solar energy is going to be free. So you need to know, though although it's capital intensive, and at moment we don't have also there is a lot of import content in renewable energy as well, but it is for capital goods and not for almost daily imports of fuel and maintenance. So it's more well worth it than, I would say, depending upon petroleum fuels.
So is it worth investing so much on renewable energy in India?
Pardon me?
Is it worth investing so much of amount in renewable energy in India? Our energy needs are very high.
Yes, yeah. So that is why actually the more we go away from fossil fuel path, better it is for us. Though I would not say do it no matter what, have to have some cost effectiveness in mind, and you can't. Earlier there was solar energy prices of rupees 13 per kilowatt hour. Now it has dropped to 2.44. So there is a big drop, and this is the right time. Though I do feel that many times some technology starts and halfway through it gets some hurdles, that as the nuclear energy also did. So it could be there are some hurdles in future ahead of us, which could be in the way of raw materials available and so on. But on the whole, it's a right path to and a long-term sustainable path to be on.
You shared your Nobel Prize with Vice President Al Gore of United States of America. They are actually the critics of the way we are using the energy in India. Do you have anything to say about them? Their energy needs are much more higher than us. The way they waste.
Yes, I think
they are to point fingers on us.
Very true. No, I do not agree. In fact, that's what I started out with. That look at the fact that you could increase your consumption so much without really realizing this is causing global warming, because we didn't use our carbon space. We people are still without electricity in so many parts of India, and our per capita emission is about 2 tons per person, whereas theirs is more than 10 tons Europeans, if you consider their average developed country. So and China has brought up the world average. They are progressing so fast. Earlier world average used to be much lower than what it is now, partly because of a phenomenal rise of China also. Though ours is increasing too, but it's much at a much lower rate than others.
Now we are the 5th largest economy of the world, so our energy needs will definitely grow higher. How to fulfill them?
But our energy needs are growing at a time where far more energy efficient options are available, renewable energy options are available. So when we did at Integrated Research and Action for Development exercise whether we can live in 2-degree carbon budget or not, the answer is yes. And recently we said let's be even more ambitious to 1.5, and even that may be possible, but there are more ifs and buts there because of the rapid rise it asks for renewable energy and energy efficiency. But we have LED bulbs now, and it is fairly well distributed energy efficiency. So we are growing at a time where we can have among various options available to us, energy efficient options also. They may be costly to begin with, but I think government has taken some wise steps about now they are also developing super fans, more energy efficient air conditioners. So they are also promoting energy efficiency. Energy efficiency, people say it's a megawatts. You do the same thing with no electricity, because it's instead of megawatt, go for negawatts. These are the kind of slogans also Emery Levin's quote advocates. So it is possible to be less carbon intensive for us.
Ma'am, your message for BWTV audience?
Oh, I really think that fortnightly, and specifically business world, have a lot of need, and it gives you a little bit distilled and a little bit away from daily froths, which guide you here and there. But where are we exactly going? Long-term trends and away from noise, but growth path. What's the growth path is something that one sees when one sees magazines like Growth Business World.
Thanks for explaining that, ma'am.